Hi, I'm Melissa, your free range psychic, and today I am going to do a tarot reading on Devin Nunes. It is November the 24th, 2019. Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday. It's Sunday, and it's been watching the media has been driving me crazy. Actually, it's time for me to turn it off again, because whenever we have these interim, times, like with the Mueller report, when really nobody knows what's happening, you just hear the media, they're speculating, and they tend to get into a negative kind of mode where they want to look at statistics and who supports impeachment, who doesn't. Did the people watch, and did it sway anybody? And there's so much still happening. There's the news that was crazy, that broke. I think it was Friday, just after the Rachel Maddow show, that Lev Parnas wants to give testimony regarding, I believe, Devin Nunes. Yes, the very person that we're reading on today, because Devin Nunes allegedly, according to Lev Parnas, went and met secretly with Viktor Shokin. Now, Viktor Shokin is an ex-Ukrainian prosecutor who apparently is one of the people behind this campaign against Biden, because it was he says anyway that or alleges that he was he had to step down from being the Ukrainians' prosecutor. Let me look at his title. Actually, I have it here. So he had a position with the Ukrainian government as the Ukrainian prosecutor, and he had to step down because of charges of corruption. And so he's saying this was led by Biden. Now Shokin is alleging that it was because he wanted to look into Joe Biden's son Hunter and his relationship with Burisma. So that's what's kind of been going on behind the scenes. So apparently Nunes met with him privately on our taxpayer dime. And not only that, but has been allegedly meeting with Parnas and Giuliani and these other players. I guess this went down this spring in the Trump International Hotel to, do this, what they do, Trump's dirty work, get, or what's the word? I want to say to conspire, or to gin up, or to create this campaign against Biden to, bring Biden down. So the irony is, Joe Biden, yeah, he's a very popular candidate, but whether or not he's really going to be our next president, that's in doubt. There's a lot of other very strong contenders. But I guess what they're saying is that the attack on Biden was bifold. One, because Trump at the time was thinking that Biden was the main contender, but the other was this revenge campaign by Viktor Shokin, because he believed that it was Joe Biden that caused his resignation. Lev Parnas. Oh my God! Yeah, who knew he'd emerge all of a sudden as this big player? But I believe he's going to give testimony. And then the other thing about John Bolton. John Bolton has surfaced all of a sudden, and don't count Bolton out. I'm going to do a reading for him soon. Actually, I'm going to try anyway. I think Tuesday. If it doesn't come out Tuesday, then it just means I've gotten busy, and the holidays are coming up. But I did do another reading for him already. I want to do it. I thought of combining the two, but then I thought, and I actually asked my spirit guides about this, and they said, no, I'm going to do a separate video. So I'm going to do a separate video on Bolton. But Bolton is very potentially going to testify regarding Trump. But these trials are not really over. Now the press wants to say it's all wrapped up, and that's it, and no more to see here. But that's not necessarily true. there's tons coming out. There's so much, and the Democrats, they hold their cards close to their chest. So we don't know. We don't know what's happening. And it may be that the trials are over and it's going to go to the Senate, or it may not be. I really, how could there? I mean, not even just asking my spirit guides, but just look at these new developments that are coming out. I've said this in other videos, but don't be swayed by the media. Don't let them tell us what's happening. They don't know what's going on in the government. They just speculate. They get the same talking heads. Now, sometimes they're excellent, and I do watch MSNBC. Because Rachel Maddow never does that, or no, I shouldn't say that. Maybe occasionally she falls into it, but she informs us, and Lawrence O'Donnell informs us. Certain people inform us, but the speculators, they're not informing us about anything. They're just rehashing or recycling these talking points, and they may be valid or they may not be. But in these interim periods where there's still stuff going on, that we don't know about. Don't despair when you're watching the media right now, because they really don't know what's happening. They're reacting, but they have to look as if they're that's somehow above us, and they have the lowdown, and they know. I'm recalling watching Rachel Maddow on Friday, and she had that's another thing that happened was all these documents got released on the. Now, you guys remind me, is it the Mueller report or the Ukrainian investigation? There's a bunch of stuff that was the White House wasn't releasing. Oh, must be regarding the impeachment trial. And so an outside organization sued under FOIA. And even though the White House would not release these really important documents, there are a lot of them, to the Democrats and to the public, under the FOIA law, they were actually released to this non-affiliated group, and there's a ton of information in that. So what's coming out of that, we don't know. But what I was recalling was I was watching Rachel Maddow interview this woman. I think she might have been one of the House representatives. I'm not sure. Yeah, she was, and she was saying Rachel Maddow asked her. She said, do you think that these are going to get released, that the judge is going to, or that the White House, even if the judge rules that these should be released, the judge is going to, no, the White House will release them. And the woman said, oh, no, they won't release them. That's never going to happen. And then an hour later, what happens? They're released, and this group has them, and now they're public, and there's so much still going on. So please don't be despaired when you're watching this narrative that the media is spinning right now, because they're just spinning it to spin it. It's, oh, that sounds good. This is what, it's kind of a lazy thing to do, I think, because it could be much more useful. Just there's so much to inform us, and if not just this, of what else is going on in the world. There's a ton of things to talk about on every level. So I just wanted to get that out there. You don't have to agree with me, but this is just how I'm feeling at the moment. It's just so frustrating because my guides are showing me this, being disastrous for the Republicans. This is a continuing process, and it's going to get worse for them, and it's going to end, in the end of this cabal, or this coup, or whatever it is. I'll say coup. So let me get on to the reading. I'm using Sarah Marchetti's Gilded Tarot. And I'm using Simple Celtic Cross, and I asked for an extra clarifier card just for one card today. The subject card is the Tower, which is funny when I think about having... Oh, I'm going to post that article that I read all this information. It was a really good article regarding the Dennis Nunes stuff. What these because there's going to be an ethics investigation, I'm pretty sure. And according to this reading, a spoiler alert, looks like there is, but it's coming. It will come out in the cards. So this is Nunes, Devin Nunes, one of Trump's rats, or jumping off the ship falling out of the tower. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Nunes meeting in the Trump International Hotel with Giuliani and Parnas and allegedly anyway, and others to try to create this conspiracy campaign regarding the Bidens. Look at that. And he's caught. This is it. He's caught in this tower moment because it's all just come out. More's coming out regarding his involvement. On top is the 10 of Swords. This is it. He can't get out of this. This is all his crimes. He's caught. This is it. The irony, because, this was just, last week, Friday, Thursday, whatever. No, I mean, the whole of the impeachment trials. I'm just thinking, was trying to think of when did they finish Friday? Or temporarily, if not completely. But this was, Knight of Swords. He's continually attack. He's on the attack. He's on the attack of these, not even Democrats, but the Republican employees and the Ukrainian, the representing America for in the Ukrainian what is it called? My mind is going today. But our U.S. officials who are working with the Ukraine and the Ukraine, our embassy, and the ones who are carrying out our carrying out our what our position is on the Ukraine, our policies, and he's attacking them, and he's attacking the Democrats also, and he's talking about not just the Bidens, but Nunes is also part of the mouthpiece of the Republicans, wanting to turn away the spotlight from Russia to the spotlight onto the Ukraine, saying it was not the Russians who meddled in the 2016 campaign, it was the Ukrainians. And it was the Democrats who are the ones who really ought to be impeached or on trial. And this, if any of you have been watching, especially Rachel Maddow, this is coming directly from the Kremlin, this position, and I guess they've been working on it for a year to try to turn the narrative around, to turn the spotlight off them, and the GOP are more than happy to help. More than happy to help. But this is Nunes now. He was the Knight of Swords, now he is being he is the victim of his own swords, and it's devastating for him. Underneath, as usual, the devil. I asked my guides about this card. They said the devil is doing the devil's work, being part of this coup or conspiracy against the United States to bring down the American democracy in the future. The Death card. This is the end of Nunes, the end of his power, just like in the reading about Jim Jordan. This is the end of Nunes. This is going to be devastating for him, and there will be an ethics investigation regarding him. This is a clarifying card, so the investigation is going to bring this. And the outcome card is the Nine of Wands, and this is Nunes. Once the attacker, now he is having to deal with the the charges that are going to be brought against him. He's no longer in this position of power and aggression. So I think a lot of dirt's going to come up, a lot, and we're just seeing the beginning. And Nunes is falling out of the tower pretty hard. I asked for a clarifying card, and my guides for the death card, and my guides are indicating the Ten of Wands. So and I asked my guides, well, what does this really mean? And they said they got a lot of stuff. They've got enough to bring Nunes down. There's enough. There's plenty here. Interesting, here are the deers in this card, and then there's the deer here looking on. So, and I believe the deers in both these cards represent the American people, the American government. Nunes, at the beginning of this video, I know I found it. I didn't make it myself. I found it on Bing or something. That image of Nunes, and that above is Peter Pettigrew, who's Ron Weasley's rat. Don't they look alike? I can just see Nunes morphing into a rat, half rat, half man. So this investigation, this ethics investigation that's going to happen, I believe, or most likely, is a second. I want to remind people it's a second ethics investigation. The first was, do you remember at the beginning of Trump's presidency, Nunes, I think he takes an Uber or something. He runs from this, I guess, a meeting on intelligence, because he's a ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee for the GOP, and he runs to the White House and he gives them information that does not belong to the White House, and it's on this investigation. I believe it's let's see, I'll read my notes here. If those launched ethics if ethics investigations are launched, this would be the second one. First was in 2019. Nunes was accused of giving classified information to the White House about Intelligence Committee work on Russia, and this was regarding the interference of in the 2016 election. Nunes. And then included a photoshopped image of Noonan and the cows, and that has to do with Nunes suing this person on Twitter who is under the Twitter name of his username is, I think, Devin Nunes' cow. And because Nunes comes from Devin Nunes comes from a farm background, and there are all kinds of accusations about how the cows don't like him and how he's mean to the cows, and so Nunes, not having a sense of humor, not one iota, is suing Twitter for $250 million. That they would allow such a thing, to happen, this kind of defamation. So he's all about that, and that's just made it worse for him, really, because there's just more and more of these Twitter accounts that have opened up, and they're all within the same vein. And Nunes, he reminds me of Pence. There's just no humor there, and he has terrible energy, of course, just like they all do. It's hard to look at him. It's really hard to find a photograph of him, because then I have to look at all these different photographs, and it's like, oh, I don't want to see anymore. That is my reading on Nunes. Sorry if I'm more inarticulate than average today, but I had all this a jumble of information that I wanted to get out to you. So we have a card for us that my guides chose. This is from Ascended Masters Oracle Cards, Doreen Virtue. And our card is this card, the Power of Joy. I'm not gonna. I don't know how to pronounce it really, but I'm gonna try Maitreya. Maitreya. To find your desired outcome, follow the path of joy. Your life's purpose is supported by joy and passion. Your life's purpose is supported by the joy and passion you feel when you're thinking about or working on your purpose. The joy that you feel within relationships keeps them alive, exciting, and growing. The joy that comes from your hobbies gives you extra energy. Of all the emotions, joy has the highest energy vibration. Joy has the power to remove all obstacles and attract all your needs. Joy reminds us that we can fulfill our purpose, help ourselves and others, and heal through the power of joy. The additional meanings for this card are: stay positive and filled with faith to manifest your desires into reality. Find the humor in this situation. Enjoy a good laugh. Develop hobbies that bring you pleasure. To find your life's purpose, do what brings you joy. So Maitreya, who's also called Hotai, Laughing Buddha, and Lord Maitreya, is the familiar image of the smiling and round, rotund Buddha. His name means the loving one. He lived as a Buddhist monk who was renowned for his compassion and generosity. Some Buddhists believe that the Maitreya is the future Buddha, who will succeed Siddhartha the Gautama as the next Buddha. Call your Maitreya to increase your happiness and joy. I want to remind everybody that I do personal readings, past life readings, anything to do with future, present, and past in this lifetime. I act as a medium, and I can help try to contact those who've passed over. Also see if they've made their transition. If not, help them make their transition successfully. I love to help people connect with their guardian angels. It's very joyful for me to do that.